Father of Tribes here with a tribal call for all. Gonna read to you a Chandra symbol for the full moon on May 10th at 20 degrees Scorpio, which is known as a serpent wrapped around an immense egg. They're saying this might give a hint as to what might unfold under this full moon energy. Here we go. Bearing deeply an entirely different future for yourself and everybody, condemned to hold this off, preserve it, keep it warmed through, not break into it until the signal is given. This is a punishing ordeal, for you know inside a different kind of reality and bear it directly within, but still you must live as if without it. This eventuates in a barren world, an outwardly determined existence in which things must be endured just about forever. You're testing yourself, making sure that you are worthy to bear your great treasure across the abyss. Do you have the forces to be steady, implacable, sound and reliable, and not turn negative and become resentful, martyr? Do you know how to do the right thing, even when you do not quite feel it inside? Deep at the core of your being, incredible things are completely and utterly alive, and they will come through when you have fully overcome the old karmas and shown yourself to be strong, clear, and true, even in a divided world that is past fixated, and at the end of its cycle, hanging on a bit too long. There you have it. Catch you on the inside of your reading.
Greetings, Water Tribes. It's Rev J. How you doing? Just wanted to do a reading for the full moon in Scorpio, and this is a tribal call, so if you have strong water in your constitution, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, and say your sun, moon, and or rising, this message is for you. I've already kind of shuffled and dealt, just saving on some time here. This is sort of a bonus reading. I haven't done one of these like this for you before. I've already done some channeling. Actually got a good amount of spirit messages here too. And just wanted to help equip you for some of the really healing energies that are coming through this full moon that we're going to have on the 10th. I'm really excited about it myself. I was hearing, they had me right here. Some of y'all are getting in touch with your inner shaman. If you haven't looked into this, hearing there was a lot going on with they were showing me spirit animals and people just getting into different healing modes, and in some cases finding different symbols in nature to mirror or reflect upon, and that animal spirit medicine might be very big for some of y'all right now. And there were some pop outs. I was getting a lot of messages. There's so much coming up. I've done the Earth tribes already, and then I did the air tribes. Now I'm doing you. I'm going to finish on the fire tribes, but already with earth and air, there's been a lot coming up with relationships and love situations. This whole moon is, check out your favorite astrologers' readings if you like. They're saying it's going to be pretty sexy for a lot of people. And I'm hearing about situations where people are dealing a lot with unrequited stuff, situations where they're looking back and missing somebody that maybe has moved on in some kind of way. And what was interesting for me is in y'all's reading here, we're actually seeing this Princess of Swords character showing up that is for a swords person, and this was a pop-out message. This wasn't, oh, wow, okay. This is a very earthy Swords energy. This is someone that takes practical steps with how they use their sword of communication. We're hearing about practical communications that remove clutter and confusion, and it's weird. This was the pop-out message. I wasn't going to do anything with this, but I can't help but notice that, and this is my Thoth deck, the Devil card was looking right up at me here, and I'm hearing about somebody that got cut off, and they were talking to me about obsessions with the air tribes and birds of a feather, and I was seeing like there's a lot that's been coming up with birds. I will tell you, while I was clearing the space in here for you all, I was asking for some angelic guidance always, and Archangel Gabriel works with me a lot. I get songs channeled. I've curated a tarot deck, if you will, that's a very extensive playlist that I work with, and gives me a zoom, a different kind of lens that has been very helpful for the way I divine. And the song that came up is called 33. It's by the Smashing Pumpkins, and I was hearing about somebody's birthday, but I was also hearing about angels and, guides that oversee situations in a protective manner. And you see, I'm just going to say she here's got wings, right? And she's got a sword. And she's, it looks like some shit blew up. This is like some tower situation for this person here that blew up, okay? And if you know about the way the story of the tarot goes, the tower is actually, I think pretty closely related to the devil, at least in this deck. There's a very phallic symbol here, but it almost looks like a tower exploding. And then this is somebody like cutting off and like shielding. I'm hearing there might be a Capricorn involved in some way. You might have Capricorn in your own natal constitution, but they are also talking about obsessive things that happen. And in some cases, I mean, it's a great thing. It's, sexual, it's primal. And in some cases, they're also talking about some things that just need to be shed, though, and the things that got cut. And how in some cases the karmic implication on this has to deal with angelic ties, and in other cases has to deal with why we're protected or protecting in our lives a certain way. And they were just talking to me a lot about the inner shaman and a certain kind of healing communication that's been happening in some cases with some of y'all via like a telepathy sort of way. And, I was actually hearing that it's giving some people stress and anxiety because what they were showing me here is like this. I'm hearing about etheric partnerships for some people, and they're talking to me a lot about some of you all really accessing your higher register energies. And in some cases, I'm just seeing this card here. I've got the Terrasexual Magic here. This is the Four of Swords card, which is a mental energy, of course. And I'm hearing about head games for some people. And in other cases, I'm hearing about telepathic communications and like virtual reality style sexual encounters with people that are at a distance. And they're talking to me about certain things that get shed and other things that get protected. And it was interesting because, and if that's not the case, I mean, you could take a more traditional, I guess, look at this, but they're saying it might be a good time to rest and in some cases fantasize. And I don't know, that looks like kind of interesting what's going on there. But it looks like this guy is like trying to get into her head in some kind of way. So I don't know if that looks good to any of you all there or not, but that's the imagery on this card. And what I was hearing about was a need for something to get cut, though. And using my Crowley deck here, the card that showed up is the Knight of Wands. And I'm hearing that if this isn't a character, this might actually be some of you all here, is what I'm hearing. And it's just like a time where some of you all might get a certain boost of energy. And they were saying in some cases it might be like fast luck that comes after a time where it's like I'm hearing about head games where it feels like there's been like some head games played with you. They're talking to me about cutting somebody off. I'm hearing in some cases it might be a Capricorn or somebody with strong Capricorn in their chart, or somebody that's been like really controlling. They're talking to me about an oppressive situation, and that it's just like clarity. It's the shitstorm that's already happened, and somebody just like wiping the slate clean. They're talking to me about a healing communication, tapping into the inner shaman, maybe having some kind of angelic support, or feeling like there's like assistance somehow, feeling the need to call in on it. And it was really cool when I was looking at this. Like, I get a lot of spirit energy off of this from like Animal Kingdom. This particular Knight of Wands, which the knights in this deck is actually like your kings if you're referencing like a more traditional style. This knight, I don't know if you can tell how he's decked out, but I'm just saying he lightly, she, he, they, other. Know your own gender, please. I mean, but if you look at that person's head there's like a unicorn sitting on the top of their helmet, and there's like fire. His whole cape is fire. And the outfit they're wearing is like, it looks like a reptile skin. It looks like something that gets shed. And the way I've studied this deck, I really take it like that too. And you see in this hand here, look, there's a huge torch right there. They're talking about new starts that are taken. And sometimes after a period of what might have been an awkward rest and feeling like manipulated is what I'm hearing for some people. And, they're talking about, I was hearing about the graceful swans, and in both the earth tribes and air tribes, there was some stuff coming up about birds and birds of a feather. And in the song that Archangel Gabriel gave me, it's 33 by Smashing Pumpkins. Some of y'all might want to look it up. They kept talking about the graceful swans, and I was hearing the words that kept coming up was tomorrow's just an excuse away. So there's a part in the song where he's talking about, tomorrow's just an excuse away. Tomorrow's just an excuse away. And they were talking to me just about somebody that was like really hung up and on something from the past. And this was the other pop-out message. Using the Tarot of Sexual Magic, they're showing this character here. I'm just going to say the woman, right? And staring at an old picture there, and in some cases it's like she's really and seeing there's the two birds. Wow, I forgot about those. Look at that. I didn't even see that before. But there's those birds again, and so I was hearing about graceful swans, and she's like looking at this couple here, and in some cases I'm hearing it's like somebody jealous that was hung up, and like some freaking head games that were going on somewhere, and that somebody might not be happy. But in other cases they're just saying that this is the time where it's like there's just a shedding of old skin. Like, if that's what's going on here, when you think about how a snake does, and when the skin gets real tight, they just shed the skin, they molt. And here, this person's got a fire. They've got an impetus, and they're like burning. They're like getting the hell out of there. So the way I'm seeing it, it's just like whatever they were hung up on in the past, whether it was a relationship or not, it's like, they went from that, and maybe just even this feeling of like something was like twisting and like trying to get in there. I feel like what they're saying is that, the person is seeing now what was really going on. In some cases, it's like that's what was going on there. It's like, can you tell what's happening there? This is a really bizarre image. And then it's like I'm seeing this person just looking back on it, and realizing, wow, something was not cool, and just being like onward into a new start. And there's a unicorn involved. And their cape's made of fire, and that horse is going. I just see like a new direction. They're like springing up in the air, and it's like, then there's this angel here. So I don't know. I'm hearing about a really powerful time with healing communications that might be coming from like the heavens, tapping into your, pineal gland, into your third eye, and just really embracing what's lighting your fire in a way that is relieving you from whatever mental hangups there might have been. And in other cases, for some of y'all, I'm hearing about kind of fetishy sexual communications and, angelic frequencies between people. And in some cases, they're talking to me about like 5D relationships that people have called in that are very hot and passionate, and this being a really turn-on moon. So you're going to know if that's the case for you. And if you'd like someone to take a look at your personal private reading, I'd love to do it. Hit me up. All my information's below. Enjoy. Take care. We'll see you again. We'll have another reading for you. Bye for now.